Major Bulls trade report. Reports reveal wild trade report on Nikola Vucevic and the Bulls asking price for him. Hi, I'm Shaq Barnes here with another episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. I noticed that 67% of you guys have been watching the channel and have not subscribed. Treat it like the Bulls intro and run right through that subscribe button. You already know how I do. I don't like to waste you guys' time. Let's get right into the news. Analyst flows potential asking price for Bulls Nikola Vucevic. So obviously Nikola Vucevic has been in trade talks for like the last couple of years now. It's been heavily pushed this last trade deadline. So now the Bulls finally revealed their asking prices for Nikola Vucevic. So let's get into it. As we head towards the NBA offseason, the Chicago Bulls are expected to make some roster change. Nikola Vucevic is one of the biggest trade chips currently under contract in Chicago. The veteran big man has 1 year remaining on his current deal. He will become an unrestricted free agent next summer. According to Evan Sidner of Forbes Sports, the Bulls would be willing to part ways with Vucevic in return for a late first round draft pick. The Bulls are angling for additional draft capital utilizing Nikola Vucevic, Sider wrote on X. Chicago is prioritizing their young core as Vucevic hopes to land in a contending situation. If a team were to offer a late first for Vucevic before 2025 draft, the Chicago Bulls are very open to the idea. And I like the sound of that when it comes to you just put it on the table now what you want for him because Nikola Vucevic is an expiring contract, so a lot of teams do like that. And because if it don't work, you can just let him go off your books next year. You can make him as a championship push. Also, for Vooch, it does kind of help him to maybe push his way to where he wants to go. But obviously, Vooch is not like a Kevin Durant or like a Giannis where he can kind of have that say-so power. Where I don't know if a team will extend him at the age he is at the moment. But he the Bulls could try to meet him in the middle to give him a contended spot. But we go look in this video to see who is in the late round odds. And I'm sorry, Vooch, the Bulls got to do what's best for them. That's what I want Chicago Bulls to do. But speaking to the point of like Vooch wants to join a contender. During the end of the season media availability, Vooch discussed his desire to contend for a championship. Vooch was quoted saying, "There are some good young pieces that can be built around." Vooch said, "There are a lot of questions where your team is not fighting for the top. I have trust in them and believe they want to do what's best and build a good team that wants to win. So we'll see. Obviously, I'm at the stage of my career where I'm trying to win now. Play in the playoffs and hopefully have deep playoff run. It's a young team and it does take time. It all depends on what their timeline is and how they see this team." So Vooch already acknowledged the fact and let everybody know, hey, look, I want to contend for a championship. The Bulls is not that team. He said it in the best media proper way as possible, but if you really just take out all that, I'll make sure I say the right thing for the media. He's pretty much saying, hey, this is a young team. It takes time this team to build. I don't have this time, which is perfectly fine with us, with me as a Bulls fan, and the Bulls organization should be fine with that. I think when you got rid of Zach, when you got rid of DeMar, Vooch should have automatically be out the door next. That was the core of the team at that point in time. When you tried to build something, didn't work out, you gotta let everybody go. Now with this Vucevic situation, the Bulls have to get this right. I don't really 100% feel like they got the Zach Lavine trade right. I don't 100% feel like they got the DeMar DeRozan situation right. Also, you Lonzo Ball, who's on a trade block too, because he's on a very team friendly contract, and there's a couple teams who might need point guards. So the Chicago Bulls need to utilize Vooch being available and actually get a great return for Vooch. I think a late first round pick or a late first round pick from a future year and a young talented player. I think that'll be outstanding. But when we talk about the teams that could be at the bottom of the late round, I think probably like the latest I can see a team maybe giving up a pick for Vooch, maybe 17, Minnesota, maybe 17 with Minnesota, because obviously, the contract with the money. But I think I keep an eye on Minnesota. That's a contender. You got Miami. That could be a contender. Atlanta, maybe. That could be a contender. Then you got the LA Clippers at the bottom end. Maybe that could be a contender. But obviously, you got to see what the funds and the money look like because a lot of teams don't really have money to take on like that. So obviously, if the Bulls are going to be sending out Nikola Vucevic, they probably going to have to be taking another contract in. Hopefully, if you take another contract in, maybe it's an expiring contract, or at least it'd be an expiring contract into the next coming year for Chicago. But keep a team like Brooklyn in mind. Brooklyn got 2, 3 late first round picks in the draft, and you don't think they'll possibly give up one of those picks for Nikola Vucevic? They might. They possibly could do that. So I want the Bulls to have an open mindset when it comes to. I get Vooch want to go to a contender, but at the end of the day, it's best available option 14. Best available. You got OKC with a late first round pick. They could possibly maybe trade for it, or use that as a 3-team trade where maybe the Bulls just get the pick and then the other team involved probably get the Nikola Vucevic situation. But if I was a betting man and I'm looking at just this late draft, if a team was to give up something for him, I say keep an eye out for. I'm gonna give y'all my five teams that I'm seeing no order. 5 teams I'm seeing no order. If it comes down to a late pick that could possibly get Nikola Vucevic, Minnesota, Brooklyn, Miami, Phoenix, and the last one gonna shock you. I think Boston. Boston will be the last one. The Boston Celtics. That 28th pick, keep an eye on that. It might be in play because the Boston Celtics are gonna lose a lot of people. Maybe a Porzingis. Who will be the best cheaper version of Porzingis you could possibly get? Nikola Vucevic. Just keep it there. But Bulls are expected to trade Vooch this summer. I got two things I feel about this, but let's read through it first. I'm gonna tell you how I really feel. I got 2 things that I feel about this. According to Joe Crowley of the Chicago Sun-Times, the Bulls can look to take advantage of Vucevic's current contractual status. The Bulls once again will look to move Nikola Vucevic, making room for Zach Collins as the temporary starter or drafted a young rim protector. Crowley reports Vucevic does have an expiring deal, but in all likelihood could be moved more easily at the February trade deadline. How I feel about this is this. This summer, try to get what you want for Nikola Vucevic. If you do not get what you want, wait till the trade deadline. Wait till you get wait till you can get what you want to get for him. Don't add nothing extra on top of it. Don't give up any other assets that you got to give up to trade him because he's on an expiring contract. If you cannot get what you want for Nikola Vucevic, do not trade him. Do not force a trade. Then wait till the February trade deadline and just take the best available offer that's available. That's the only way you go out like that. If you're not going to give me what I want right now for him, I'm going to hold off him and wait. And then I will trade him during the February trade deadline because it's going to be teams who are close or see they missing somebody could get injured, or they need a missing piece, or they want to add that one piece to make the championship push, or they want to add this piece to add on for another trade. Then I'll do it then. Then I'll just take the best available offer. But coming into this offseason, get what you want for Vooch. So if you want a late first, get a late first. If you want a young player with a late first, get that. If you're not getting what you want, don't force it. Don't force it at all. And just talk about expiring contracts. Expiring contracts are a valuable commodity in the NBA. Therefore, it wouldn't be surprising if multiple teams were interested in a veteran center. If that were to happen, the Bulls should look into creating a bidding war. Still, if only one contending team is interested known, Chicago should do the right thing and send him to a franchise that he can help contend. Now, I'm always about doing what's the right thing. But like you said, if it's a bidding war, I'm taking the best available offer. But even if it's a team, hey, I'll try my best to get you where you want to go. But if it's not in benefits of the team, I'm sorry, we can't. We just can't do that. We just can't. And I rock with Vooch. But business of basketball is always going to be first. And when you look at what Nikola Vucevic actually brings to a team at the age of 34, so you got to look at this age. It depends on you get the extension. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shot 53% from the field, 40% from three. Vooch is an offensive juggernaut, questionable on the defensive end, but he's an offensive juggernaut when it comes to a big man. So I think any other team who has great defense, who just need a big, who can facilitate in the post, create in the post, hit open threes, Vucevic is your guy. Now, comment down below. Are the Bulls asking too much for Nikola Vucevic in a late first round pick? Or who would you like to see the Chicago Bulls trade Nikola Vucevic for? Who would you like to see in return? It's been Shaq Barnes. Here with another great episode of Bulls Digest. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.